I am Chris Gaylor.
And I'm Amber Fawcett, Cooking Cosplay, and today we're back again with you guys with Code Geass, episode 17.
Yes. Whew, there's something happening between Suzaku and Lelouch this episode. I am excited.
I hope they're gonna talk. Please!
Yes.
Talk!
Last episode, the world was basically split into two, the red and the blue, Lelouch and his gang, and the Britannians. Lelouch basically managed to have the countries that are not with Britannia band together, and they basically abandon all military rights. The only military force they have is the Black Knights, and they cannot act unless they all vote for it.
True.
It does make it sound like he's creating something very close to the empire his dad made.
Very close.
So I don't know. We'll see where this goes, but right now I cannot scream with them when they're happy, and I'm being careful.
Of the similarities?
It's too similar, but still, I'll see what they do with that. Suzaku is gonna meet with Lelouch because Lelouch called him and said, "You need to take care of Nunnally. You need to protect her because right now I'm stuck. I can't do anything against my dad unless Nunnally is safe because he's got her. So please, can you do something?" And he's like, "I'll protect her
under one condition.
We need to talk. We need to meet."
Yeah.
I'm really excited about what's gonna go down. I don't know if they're gonna listen to one another, but they need to talk. Anyway, and C2 is adapting to being, in this new era, this new year, this new world of hers. Yeah. She's still she's got the mindset of being a slave, and she needs to understand that she's now no longer a slave. Even though Lelouch kind of, loses it around her sometimes. Like, he's not her master. He can take care of her, but she can be her own person, so it's cool.
Yeah.
Alright, let's jump in this episode and see what they have in store for us.
Alright.
Let's go. Okay, Lelouch crying at the end as he thought he was betrayed once again by Suzaku. Like, he gave him a chance, and he didn't even do anything, but it ended up that he was being followed and everything. So, I love that. I both love and hate that he had a plan in case he was betrayed by his friend, but he truly tried, to rely on his friendship, on his love for him, on who he thought Suzaku was as a person. And it worked till the fucking end when they showed up. Love the plan of having, the guy show up and think he was Cornelia. That was so cool.
That was a really good plan, by the way, to be able to use his gears on Lord Guildford.
Oh, yeah.
By using Jeremiah to meet them.
That was so cool.
Good. That was really cool.
But having him, shed tears as he was like, I have to be cold and, unforgiving and stuff. And I'm like, he really tried to rely on friends, like C2 told him, like, oh, if you're feeling bad inside and stuff, rely on friends. And he really gave it a shot. And it didn't work.
Betrayed.
And to have to cast all of his friendships aside and stuff, that made him cry. And that makes me so sad for him. Because Suzaku did not betray him. That whole conversation was heartbreaking because we as watchers, as viewers, we want Lelouch to make Suzaku understand what actually happened because it wasn't his fault. But I also understand why Lelouch is saying, yes, I did that. Yes, it's my fault. Yes, it's because of me if Shirley died. Because technically, yes, it's true. If Rollo had died, if he had killed Rollo and didn't keep him and to use him and stuff to manipulate him, if he had not fed him with that bullshit of, oh, I'm your brother and I care about you, he would not have killed Shirley. So technically, yes, it's his fault. Yuffie, he did say kill the Japanese. He did use his Geass on her. It wasn't his fault, but he did use it. I respect that Lelouch is taking the blame and he is, he's being responsible. He's taking the responsibility because he put himself in that position of power, and when something goes wrong, the leader should be the one to take the blame. This is how things usually work. I love that he's being mature about this, but I hate that he's basically saying that, oh, I did this because of that, and it's not true. You know, he never tried to do these things for those reasons. But, sorry.
I'm a bit pissed because it could still be mature and responsible and taking accountability about what he did by thinking what happened. Yes, I used my Geass, I lost control, it wasn't my intention to, but it happened and I take full responsibility for that. But the way that they show us is reasoning to what he said to Suzaku is like they slowly showing us Lelouch taking all the blame for everything and being the bad guy for everything.
Yeah.
So
But Suzaku
it
saw
looks
through
like
that.
by the end of it, they're gonna say, I'm the bad guy, so destroy me and you're gonna have peace.
I mean, when Suzaku saw through the lie, which I loved, by the way, because he saw that Lelouch was lying. Like, he was accepting what happened, and he was lying in order to... I think he thinks that it would be easier for Suzaku, maybe, to do the right thing if he wasn't so conflicted, because I think that's why Suzaku showed up here. He had these two versions of Lelouch, you know, the friend and Zero, and he needed to understand which one to trust, which one to believe. And having Lelouch say all of this to him, that made him cry too, because I think it was like saying, oh, the friend you thought you had, he doesn't exist. But then he saw through the lie, which I think Lelouch was, you know, telling him so that Suzaku would not be so torn up. And he saw through that, and he still can't forgive him, but he's willing to think that if he's good enough to feel bad about what happened, to lie about all of that happened and stuff, he's good enough to maybe turn his lies into reality. You know? The thing of the Night of Justice and stuff, he's like, oh, I cannot stop you from being Zero. I cannot stop or change what happened. But I still think that you are the friend I used to like deep down. So I think you can make the right decision. Like, you feel bad about what happened? Well, then take the lie you told for the utopia you want. Because he never said to people, oh, I want to do this for my sister. He lied about that, you know? He used this, the freedom speech and stuff, and the Black Knights, and the mask of justice that he put on himself. He used that as a tool in order to create the world he wants for Nunnally. But I believe that if he's, you know, he's mature enough and sincere enough to take all these lies about what happened to Yuffie, what happened to Shirley, and take them on himself because he feels bad about what happened. So he takes them he takes them on himself. He can do the same with that lie and turn it into reality, which would actually please Suzaku because he wants peace. So I think he can live with that. I love this. I love the conversation, and I also hated it. It's hard to see it happen. It's hard to see Lelouch take all of that on and see Suzaku just bash his head in the ground because he's got so much anger. It's even harder to, you know, see them both destroyed because now Suzaku feels lost. He doesn't know what to believe, what he wants to be. That's always been his character. You know, he doesn't know if he's still an 11, or if he's a Britannian, or if he's a knight, or if he's, you know, Yuffie's knight. He doesn't know if Lelouch's friend or Lelouch's enemy. He's conflicted, and Lelouch is also conflicted, but he answers to that with, oh, I need to be cold and leave that aside, and it's horrible for him. It's really bad to see them go through that, and it's sad and it's frustrating. Whew, I don't know what to say.
I think that in his mind, he's thinking that if he lets his emotion take over, he won't be able to achieve his goal by the end.
But yes,
and
before,
I
yes.
can understand that, but sometimes emotions are pushing you to do more and to go to the end.
We talked about this before, but I think in this case, it was about not trusting his friends, not relying on his friends, because every time he does that, he gets betrayed. That's why he had he had a plan in case something happened. And now, speaking of plan that didn't turn out right, Schneisel is doing his own thing. Like, he's like, I think he feels like he's being manipulated by so many people. Like, his dad has his own agenda, and the 11s and Zero, they have their own agenda, and he's just in the middle trying to understand what's going on. And he's like, I have my own plan. Like, he's got his own agenda, and I feel like he's learning a lot. And I think what he discovered is that Lelouch has a weapon that allows him to, you know, force people to do what he wants. That might be what he understood, because now he knows that Zero is Lelouch. Now he also understands why Clovis was killed and what pushed Lelouch to do all these things. He understands the motivation, and if you understand someone's motivation, you can understand what he's going to do next. You know, what's going to be the plan. I don't know what Schneisel is preparing to do next, but someone that holds all the cards, that's dangerous. That's very dangerous.
I totally forgot about the subway.
I
And
do.
the plan that Lelouch had to nullify the effect on all the nightmares.
I
That
completely
was
forgot about that
really
too.
smart, by the way.
But I mean, it was intense the first time we saw it, but we just, yeah, like you said, we forgot about it, so...
It was intended to be forgot.
But now, it does feel like the final battle is about to take place, because it's going to determine a lot of what's going to happen next. If Japan gets freed, the people that did not want to take part in the war, they're going to go to Lelouch's side, because he's going to prove to them that he can give them freedom. You know, he can defeat Britannia.
True.
And if he loses, they're not going to trust him enough to fight this war.
I'm really scared too, because we've seen Nina and she's really excited to be back in the settlement in Japan and said, "Oh, we're back, please use the weapon,
And but Suzaku has the weapon. He said, like, he's got two choices: use that weapon or use Lelouch. Basically, that's what he said, right?
I guess.
So using Lelouch as a weapon for peace, or using the Britannians' weapon in order to win this war and have peace. He's got two choices in front of him. I sure hope he uses the good one, because now it's all gonna depend on them. You know, it all depends on what they do, and this weapon could kill so many innocents.
Too much people already dead, so please stop it, stop it.
Yeah. Oh, that was such a good episode. And the fight, by the way, we need to just quickly mention this fight. It's so crazy because they're so good. It's like watching gods fight it out, and it's intense. And you know, this war is happening, this fight is happening, but this other fight with words is also happening. So we're conflicted, and we're like, holy shit, this show is so good at making us freak out. I love it. Woo! Anything else?
No, I'm done.
So we're gonna move on. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. If you want to see the next one right away, it's on Patreon already, or it will be very soon. Check it out. The link is in the description.
Yep, so gonna see you then, guys.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Or next week on YouTube.
Yeah.
Bye!